June 12, 2025, 7:39 p.m., City School. Caller reporting that a juvenile named Connor is throwing rocks in the parking lot and is currently trespassed from the property. 9:15 p.m., South Main Street. Caller reporting that two females are doing some type of drugs. June 13th, 2025, 2:13 p.m., Walmart. Caller reporting his wife's car was scuffed in the parking lot. 5:25 p.m., 100 Lake Street. Caller reporting that a male registered sex offender is living in apartment 2D and isn't supposed to be. 5:36 p.m., Finn Avenue. Caller reporting someone is popping wheelies on a motorcycle. 10:02 p.m., Maple Street. Caller reporting that people who rented a nearby apartment might have moved and abandoned their dog because she hasn't seen them in a while and the dog has been barking for a long time. June 14th, 2025, 1:45 p.m., Switchyard on Lake Street. Employee reporting there's a group of people loitering behind the building and are refusing to leave even though they have been asked a few times already. At 1:50 p.m., the responding officer says Ashley Shedrick was there but left and is currently trespassed from the property. He makes contact with an Evelyn Therian and Iran. Dispatch reports that Evelyn is also trespassed. At 1:54 p.m., she is cited and given a court date. 2:01 p.m., unknown location. Caller reporting that someone is blowing black smoke from their vehicle on purpose due to a difference in political views. June 15th, 2025, 11:19 a.m., parking garage. Caller reporting her father is parked in a Honda Civic and is currently intoxicated. She is parked in front of him so he cannot take off, and she needs assistance from an officer. At 11:22 a.m., she reports he has been missing for 3 days and can't seem to walk. She also believes he will become combative when the officer arrives, but she took his keys, so he won't be driving away. Dispatch reports that no one reported him missing. 12:30 p.m., Lower Weldon Street. Caller reporting a possible assault. A female on the line is heard yelling, "I need help now," and someone in the background said they got hit. There are two males outside currently in a fight, and two females are trying to get in the middle of it. 12:43 p.m., Walmart. Caller reporting there is a red diesel pickup truck doing burnouts and donuts behind the store. 1:52 p.m., Sheldon Road. Caller reporting a baby blue Ford Bronco cut off someone on a bicycle, which caused them to fall above it. 7 p.m., Pearl Street. Caller reporting his neighbors walk across his lawn all the time, and he has called about it previous times. His neighbors keep complaining about the vehicles in his yard, and he would like them trespassed from his property. 7:19 p.m., Diamond Street. Caller reporting there are 3 males in trucks doing burnouts. He told them to stop, and they responded by peeling out. At 7:21 p.m., another person called about them doing it on Lincoln Avenue. 9:07 p.m., Beverage Mart. Caller reporting that her ex-boyfriend keeps following her, and she would like them to respond to the area. She said she has a taser, just in case, but is heading into a Beverage Mart. At 9:10 p.m., she reports he followed her into the store and keeps rushing at her and following her. He is also with 2 other males. 9:13 p.m., intersection of Oak Street and Pearl Street. Caller reporting there is a male with a stick in his hand yelling. June 17th, 2025, 2:24 p.m., Price Chopper. Caller reporting a female got out of the driver's seat of a white vehicle, was stumbling everywhere, and seems very intoxicated. They're worried she's going to drive after she comes back out of the store. At 2:33 p.m., the officer makes contact and reports she is not intoxicated. 3:26 p.m., unknown location. Caller reporting there has been property stolen over the last few months by someone named Lester. 9:47 p.m., corner of Messenger Street and Brainerd Street. Caller reporting there was a male holding a cell phone and peeking into their neighbor's window. June 18th, 2025, 2:20 p.m., Oak Street. Caller reporting she was alerted by her neighbors that a female took 2 garbage bags full of cans from her porch and then headed towards the direction of Beverage Mart. 2:43 p.m., Railroad off of Hoyt Street. Employee calling to report there are 2 white males that have been going through shipping containers behind the co-op. One man is wearing a high-visibility vest, and the other is on a bicycle. They would like them trespassed from the property. At 2:54 p.m., the responding officer makes contact with Jeff Robtoy and Patrick Stearns. Dispatch reports that Jeff has a warrant out for a cite and release for a DUI and violating probation. 3:17 p.m., unknown location, an officer asked another officer who was making contact with Lindsay Little to keep her there because he needs to talk to her about a larceny from a building that she was involved in. 5:36 p.m. Walmart. Caller reporting they saw somebody stealing from a vehicle earlier in the day. 8:23 p.m. Mount Calvary Cemetery. Caller reporting she is currently stuck up a tree. Fire and rescue was contacted and they asked for an officer's assistance. At 8:34 p.m., the responding officer said they are making contact with Kelly Champagne and she is not currently stuck in a tree, but they are requesting AmCare. June 19, 2025, 1:01 p.m., South Main Grocery. Employee calling to report there's a white Jeep Cherokee that has been parked at their store for a few hours. The person in the Jeep has been slumped over the whole time, and he would like a welfare check done on him. 1:21 p.m., Walmart. Employee reporting that John Tatro is in their store and he is currently trespassed. He is there with another individual that they want trespassed because they stole items from the store this morning. June 20th, 2025, 1:19 p.m., South Main Street. Caller reporting she had a package stolen off of her porch today. 5 p.m., hospital parking lot. Caller reporting that someone pried open her gas tank cover while she was in the building. The hospital staff told her they have video proof, but are refusing to show her. They said they will show the police, though. 12:57 a.m., Stebbins Street. Caller reporting that a male and female threatened to rob her and then took off in the direction of the police station. At 12:59 a.m., she reports that she is currently waiting at Hometown Beverage for an officer. Dispatch reports that she's known to be mentally ill, combative, and has attempted suicide multiple times. June 21st, 2025, 12:52 p.m., Walmart. Caller reporting that an elderly male in a gold Chevy Equinox is slumped over in a car. She saw him before going into the store, and he was still in the same position when she came back out, so she would like a welfare check done on him. At 1:03 p.m., dispatch is sending AmCare. 1:03 p.m., Brickyard on Federal Street. Employee calling to report that Eric Mossy is on their property and needs to have the trespass they filed for him served since he keeps avoiding police. Dispatch reports the photo they have of him is over 10 years old. The responding officer was not able to make contact. 4:35 p.m., South Main Street. Caller reporting that Ricky Latham assaulted and choked him, stole his keys, and then his 2014 Ford Escape. He said he is probably heading back to his home on Cedar Street. He does not want AmCare to respond. 7:47 p.m., caller reporting that her debit card was stolen and there have been multiple purchases made on it. She thought she had it shut off, but guesses not. 9:59 p.m., People's Trust parking lot. Caller reporting that her husband was just attacked by a couple individuals. She says her husband had a gun on him, but didn't pull out. 10:35 p.m., Makia Road. Caller asking for a welfare check on her two daughters and their father. They told her he is very intoxicated and not waking up. June 22nd, 2025, 7:45 p.m., North Main Street. Caller reporting that Eric Mossy is on their property, but he is currently trespassed. He was kicked off the property 10 minutes later by the building manager. The officers never responded. June 23rd, 2025, 6:20 p.m., 175, Lake Street. Caller reporting there is a man named Patrick digging in the mulch, and he is not supposed to be there. At 6:23 p.m., the responding officer confirms it's Patrick Stearns. At 6:37 p.m., he says he wasn't up to anything, he was just pulling weeds. Dispatch responds saying he's not supposed to be there because of some issue with his wife. 7:29 p.m., intersection of Lake Street and Maple Street. Caller reporting that there is a female who is very intoxicated. She has red hair and a pink shirt on. At 7:32 p.m., she is now walking down the road with a male, and she is worried because he seems to be taking advantage of the fact the woman is intoxicated. At 7:33 p.m., an officer responded and made contact with a female named Amanda H. At 7:40 p.m., the officer is transporting her to the hospital. At 7:42 p.m., the officer asked another if they have leg shackles in their car. He responds with, "Is she kicking?" "Yes, she's kicking the partition a lot." June 24th, 2025, 12:52 p.m., 175 Lake Street. Caller reporting there's a female unconscious on the sidewalk. Dispatch reports there are no ambulances available in the area, so they cannot send AmCare, and the female is wearing a yellow shirt and shorts. At 12:54 p.m., the responding officer reports she's in and out of consciousness, and her name is Lori Weatherford. She currently resides in one of the apartments in the building. At 12:59 p.m., the officers brought her into her apartment. At 3:04 p.m., a neighbor of hers called to report that they can hear her yelling and making suicidal statements. 1:02 p.m., unknown location. An officer reporting he is making contact with a Stephen who has a $200 bail and a probation warrant. At 1:08 p.m., he was arrested. June 25th, 2025, 1:56 a.m., Sticks and Stuff. Caller reporting there is a person passed out in a vehicle. Not sure if it's drug-related.